What's good, y'all? It's your girl Dynamic Dom, and welcome back to my channel. It's time for a life update. So if you're new or returning, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I'm very pleased, grateful, and blessed to have you here. If you've not already done so, be sure to click the subscribe button and turn on the little bell for the post notifications, okay? You don't want to miss this. All right, we are up and coming. We are the next Talitha Jane, the next De'Ara, but we're really not the next anybody because we're ourselves. If you don't know me, in all honesty, I've only really been uploading vlogs for like the past year. So it would not surprise me if y'all didn't know me or know much about me, you know, just how I've been doing. So this is a great opportunity for you to meet me, learn a little bit about me, okay, and learn why you should stick around. I think I'm gonna take it all the way back to 2020. Matter of fact, we're gonna go back to 2019. Actually, we just gone. Quick background. Okay, quick background. Born in Memphis, moved to Virginia when I was 4. Raised in West Virginia from about 5 and a half, 6 up until I graduated high school at the age of 18. I moved from West Virginia to Louisiana. The only reason I came to Louisiana was for LSU. That's it. Okay? You see me? That's the only reason I came down here. Applied to one school. Just the one. I already knew where I was going. I knew what my plan was, or had an idea of it, and nevertheless executed. But we're gonna get to that. Fast forward from 2016 on to 2019, I was not doing very well in school. Experienced the flood, so I started off kind of rocky in my first year in 2016, and decided to get into relationships too early, not knowing what the fuck I was doing, and drastically slowed down my progress and my ability to grow as an individual. With that being said, I just really stunted my ability to grow and flourish in my new environment because I was focused on the wrong things. Fast forward to 2019, your girl was struggling, and I do mean struggling, struggle bus in college. Got to the point where I just knew I needed a change of pace. Got to the point where I needed a change of pace. I was burnt out mentally, and I was not seeing any progress in school whatsoever. If I wanted to get my degree, I had to drop out. Now, as backwards as that sounds, it worked to my benefit, and honestly, I wouldn't have changed anything about it. I left LSU 2019, and I decided that I was going to pursue cosmetology. Needless to say, it worked out. I decided to pursue cosmetology because once I moved to Louisiana, I had more understanding of hair, the importance of it, and being that I'd just grown up having bad experiences with hair all my life, I wanted to change that for other people. That's kind of what really drove me and pushed me to pursue that. Then also at the time, the hair business was growing at a very exponential rate to the point where everybody and their mom was trying to learn how to make a wig, me included. But I decided to go the professional route, get my license, and, you know, start that way. Granted, some people, they'll have been behind the chair of been, you know, kitchen sink stylist for some time, so they already have clientele, and then they decide to go back and get their license. That was cool and dandy. I kind of sort of wish I'd have done it that way, but I'm glad I did it this way just because there are a lot of benefits that come with being licensed, and just having that extra credibility behind your name and that knowledge that comes with it is it's literally priceless. It's very invaluable. So wouldn't change it for the world. So fast forward through cosmetology school, this is really where I developed discipline. So not only was I required to be at school from 9 to 5:30 Tuesday through Saturday, but had to come like dressed fairly professional, face done, hair done. Like, you had to come ready. You show up for work basically. And in this industry, showing up for work means that you look like you're like you can do your job. Even though everybody and their mama say if the hairstylist don't look homeless, I don't trust it. In this world, in reality, we're supposed to show up like this, okay? You know, after some delays and just bad decisions on my part, I get through cosmetology school. Now, I graduated cosmetology school during the pandemic in 2020. No, we did not see this coming. All I remember was in March, they were saying, oh, well, we might, you know, have to go fully remote, and we'll show y'all how to do that tomorrow if that happens. Literally the next day, we got an email saying, don't come to school, we're going remote. I was like, alrighty then. I finished my last however many of my 1,500 hours virtually. And needless to say, that was definitely a time. I had a lot of time to like self-reflect, really get to know myself and fully understand, or try to fully understand, my purpose. Also, I started working out all the time. Didn't have anything else to do, so get up, I'd work out, listen to my word from Transformation Church, and get ready for school. That was my routine. And because of that, I was able to develop discipline in a way that didn't have me overthinking it, or really just, oh my God, discipline. Like, people, you throw the word discipline out there and people start freaking out. But that's how I went about it. Finally graduated cosmetology school in July, late June, early July of 2020. And because everything was so backed up with testing, I did not actually like go to take my test, my practical, until like 2021. Mind you, had passed my written some months prior. Yeah, some months prior. And still couldn't take my practical. Once I got in for my practical, I had to take it 3 times, y'all. 3 times. It was not the greatest, but we got it done. That's all I'm gonna say. Fast forward on from cosmetology, I moved into the shop here at LaRouge Hair Lounge. I started out in a suite, or not in a suite, I started out in a booth. I'll leave a little picture or something like that right here. And now I'm in my suite. The suite is kind of like a passion project, whatever you want to call it, whatever the word is I'm looking for, you probably know it. A love child, that's what they be saying, in a passion project. For me, because I was very dead set about doing hair the right way. I didn't want to do hair out of my house. Not knocking anybody who does. If that's your cup of tea, sip it. Me personally, I'm not here for it. So I got into a shop. Granted, I kind of wish I'd have stayed home, just because the money that goes into a shop is money I could have invested elsewhere. But needless to say, you live and you learn, and here we are. Can't take it back, so we just keep pushing. Around the time that I started moving into this suite, I had been in a relationship with someone, and we were kind of it didn't work out. I'm very single, so that tells you everything you need to know for the most part right there. It was very rocky, and towards the end, biggest like a bomb anybody could drop on a relationship, literally like nuclear, this man had a baby on me. If you want that story time, drop a green heart in the comments below and comment secret baby story time. So yeah, green heart, secret baby story time, if you want to hear that whole kind of background spiel, whatever. So fast forward towards the end of 2021, I decided I wanted to move out of my mom's house. Also, I went back to LSU. I had re-enrolled as a full-time student. Was nervous as hell, but we did it anyway. Back at LSU, beginning of 2022, I moved out of my mom's house. School was going well. I was feeling really good about my new place. Life just honestly, aside from what I didn't necessarily know at the time, but had intuition feelings of, gut feelings about, you know, I was happy. So, y'all, all I gotta say is, if you're not financially stable to move somewhere else, don't do it. Don't try to be cute. Just be humble, be broke and humble until it's time for you to really pop your shit, okay? Because you just don't do it. Learn from my mistakes, please. Now that I'm back in school, right, I am focusing my discipline that I had developed through working out and going to cosmetology school into being a better student. So this time around, you know, when I first started, I was progressively getting worse every semester, whereas with this last year of college I had, y'all, I shit you not, top tier, literally. The only thing that kept me from making the dean's list my very first semester back was the fact that I was only in 12 credit hours. Had I been in 15 credit hours, I would have made the dean's list fall, spring, and summer, okay? Fall, spring, and summer. But needless to say, your girl made it spring and summer. The lowest grade I ever had in my whole last year of schooling was a C, and that was my first semester back. Every other semester, I only had one B. I had all A's. And in my final semester, okay, the final one before graduation, your girl was in 21 credit hours. I know. You're thinking, why would you do that to yourself? Well, when you had been in school as long as I have, you're ready to get done by any means necessary. And in this case, for me, that meant doing something I didn't necessarily want to do to get where I wanted to be. Little backstory on that. When I was finishing up my degree and I had finished my spring classes, I was very, very determined to graduate in December of 2022. Granted, I did not necessarily know how I was going to make that happen, but I was very much focused on doing so. I planned accordingly, went through my degree audit, and scheduled my classes the way that I knew would fit me best. And of course, just had my advisors just kind of check it and verify that this is a good schedule, or at least these are the classes that I for sure need to be taking. So I went ahead and did exactly like I said, did what I needed to do so I could get done. Very last semester of school, your girl made the President's Honor Roll. Now, while all of that might seem easy, fine, and dandy, whatever, that does not go without saying that during this entire, or at least a good portion of it, from April of 2022 up until October of 2022, your girl wasn't employed full time, okay? I'm working 40 plus hours a week as an administrative assistant at a daycare. Mind you, the daycare was only about 10 minutes from my apartment at the time. So it was a cool little job. And I'm thinking that it was a blessing from God because, oh, I never would have ran into, she was a regular from when I used to bartend. And so I'm thinking I never would have ran into her and reconnected with her had I not been living in that apartment. And so that for me had to let me know, like, oh, this is for sure a sign from God that this is where I'm supposed to be. Y'all, please don't play yourself like that, okay? Please don't play yourself like that. I saw a post on Instagram today, and it said sometimes the spiritual warfare that you're dealing with are really the consequences of your disobedience to God. I just want to let that sink in for a little bit. The spiritual warfare that you are currently facing might not be that, but in fact are the consequences of your disobedience to God. Yeah. All of that is just like, so back to the story. I'm over here trying to tell myself that this is absolutely where I'm supposed to be, this, that, the third, whatever. So start working for this lady, right? Start working for her. Really, I started working for her probably about February. And at this time, I'm just like a personal assistant because I'm really still trying to do my own thing. And I didn't mind having like the extra little money just to do some personal assistant stuff on the side. Well, she eventually started having me come up to the center and actually do like helping her out doing some stuff. So that turned into me working a full-time job without ever having actually submitting an application, discussing job description, pay and all of that, right? I got wrapped up into something that was packaged very prettily but was hand delivered by the devil, even though again it really was just a consequence of my disobedience. But for the idea of picturing how this whole scenario is going to play out, picture it that way. So anyway, I was working full-time from from April 2022 up until October of 2022. Needless to say, of course, that affected me personally, but I did not let it affect my studies. So if y'all want the full story time of the worst job I've ever had with the worst boss I've ever had, drop a blue heart in the comments and leave scary boss story time. She wasn't really scary, but we just gonna go with that. Scary boss story time. Okay, green heart, secret baby story time. Blue heart, scary boss story time. We're going with the alliteration, SBS, okay? That's what we got right now. Fast forward from, through 2022. Like I said, Dean's List, spring and summer. And took 7 classes, my final semester of schooling. And your girl made the president's honor roll. I'm not one to toot my own horn, but toot toot, bitch, okay? Because who do you know? I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, but for me to have left school and come back, and not only like come back and graduate, but come back and excel and graduate on time, man, put some respect on my name, please. Okay, you better talk nice to me. Needless to say, graduation was literally like the highlight of my year by far. The greatest experience ever, and walking across the stage is truly an adrenaline rush, to the point to where I have now decided that I'm going back for my master's and my PhD. The master's we'll be going back for our master's in about a year. I'll explain why, and the PhD will follow suit after. From October up until February, October of 2022 up until February of 2023, your girl was unemployed. I just, I'll explain why in story time. Like I said, blue heart, secret boss, scary boss story time. If you want to know what went down in my last job, why I quit, and just why I will never go back. I had to get up out of there. Was unemployed literally from October up until February. If that doesn't tell you how bad the job was, I don't know what will. I was willing to risk unemployment and homelessness over, please understand. So, finally got a little job from the flower shop. One of my professors, she was on, she looked out for me, and started working over there. They always say when it comes to jobs, when you have one, it's easier to get hired or, to be wanted. Let me try that again. They always say people want what they can't have, and the same is true whenever it comes to applying for jobs. If a job sees that you are openly available, the likelihood of them calling you back is on a sense slim to none. Granted, while the thought process is I have open availability, they should want me because I literally have nothing else to do, in their mind they want to understand, why do you have nothing else to do? Whereas when you already have a job, you're one, showing that you're in good standing with an employer, and also they want to know what they can do within their power to take you away from them and have you work for them. So if you're looking for a new job, don't quit the job you have until you've secured the next one, or find you a little part-time job to hold you over until you can secure the job you want. All I'm saying is have a job to get the job. That's it. Of course your resume matters too, but that's a story for a different day. I started applying to jobs for the state. My overall goal really was to work for LSU. I had applied as an academic advisor or an academic counselor, but I didn't get the position. I was real heartbroken about it, but nevertheless, we kept pressing. So I got hired after a couple of interviews with the state, and the one that I really wanted is the one that I got. Now, the problem with this was my first time ever working corporate, and the thought to negotiate my salary had never crossed my mind. This is my tip to you. Whenever you get a new job, negotiate your salary. Do not miss that step. Unless the salary is non-negotiable, always, always, always negotiate for a higher pay. And don't give them a range, give them a number, and work your way up or down from it. I digress. I started working for the state. It was a cool little job. I really wasn't doing too much. I got to be a corporate baddie for a little minute, but it really wasn't for me. One, I had to be up way too early to get to work. Two, my job literally revolved around somebody else's job, meaning that I had to make sure she was where she needed to be. And that's cool and all, but I like to work autonomously. I don't necessarily want to have to feel like somebody's watching me do what I'm supposed to do. Just trust that I'm going to get it done. And if I don't, then reprimand me. But yeah, no, we don't do that micromanaging shit over here. In the midst of me not making enough money at my new job working for the state, I had to come to the unfortunate realization that I was going to have to move back home. I literally could not afford my lifestyle on the check that they were giving me. I was making $32,000 a year, y'all. I don't know what in my mind possessed me to believe that that was like such a great offer, and I really was just so excited to have even had a job offer, which is why I like kind of jumped on it the way I did. But $32,000 with a degree? Bitch, are you serious? You know, pay me my worth. Pay me my worth. That's all I'm asking. That's it. That's all I'm asking. Your girl got a job with LSU, okay? Yeah. Kept applying. And that's another story, needless to say, that you might not get it when you want it, but God, he always shows up right on time. Right on time. So I got the job with LSU. They were paying me substantially more than my last position. Similar workflow, but in this job, my skills are being utilized more fully. Yeah, so your girl got a job with LSU, okay? I'm back home with my people. They're paying me substantially more. The benefits are better. My skills are being fully utilized. I feel more fulfilled in my job. I'm able to connect with people who I very well understand as, you know, just being a non-traditional student myself. So if you're wondering what I do for work now and what I do for LSU, I'm what they call an enrollment coach. My primary goal is to help inquiring students or applicants through the application process while they are waiting for admissions to either accept or decline their application. Once a decision has been made, then they're transferred to what is called a student success coach, who then basically, in a sense, holds their hand throughout college. Not seriously, but yeah. So I do now, and that's who I work for. The reason why I've been saying I'm going to go back for my master's in a year is because after I have been employed with LSU for a year, they will pay for 100% of my schooling. Why would I pass that up? Who finna pass up free education? Not me. Especially not if it comes with more money. Not, you know, don't get me wrong, I plan to be financially free and successful on my own merit, but if I decide to be a corporate baddie for however long and for whatever reason, I would like to know that I'm going to be paid well for my time. Okay? So, that being said, that's why we're going back for the master's and the PhD. I've been working for LSU for about, going on 2 months now. July 15th will make 2 months for me. I started May 15th. The only like hiccup that happened when I was going through the process of getting hired for them was when they tried to complete my background check. The system that they utilized had like a delay. And so my background check did not come in on May 1st or prior to May 1st, which was my agreed upon start date. So I'd already left my previous job with the understanding that I was going to start my new one on May 1st. That didn't happen. I had to go 2 weeks without working, which then meant that I went a month without income. It's been a roller coaster, but God has really just been guiding me and showing me everything that he has in store for me, and just, you know, constantly telling me when I show up for him, he's gonna show out for me. It never fails. Literally throughout that whole period of time where I was unemployed from October up until February, my bills were paid. My rent was $1,400, y'all. That nice apartment I had, $1,400. Please understand, that is not cheap at all. It might be cheap in the grand scheme of how much you might have to pay for some other similar things that might not have as much square footage or whatever, details and all that aside. But it was not cheap. And I was not doing everything I needed to do to keep it. And that's why I lost it. Shoot, I really lost it because I didn't need it in the first place. That's not what he had for me. He wants me to have a house because I want a house. Not only do I just want a house, I want to build my house. And in order for me to build my house, I have to build my business. I have to build my brand, and I have to build my platforms. So, y'all are gonna be seeing a lot more of me, whether it be on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube. Just be prepared for it. I hope this wasn't too like all over the place. I kind of hope you have a better understanding of me, what I've been through, who I am, and why I'm here. So if you have any more questions, be sure to leave a comment down below in the comments section. Okay, be sure to like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to the channel, because we are dynamic. We're the dynamic gang, the dynamic something. Still figuring that out. If y'all got any ideas, drop that in the comment section below too, okay? But don't forget to stay tuned and check back in with your girl next Sunday, okay? This video is going up hella late. It is literally 11:09 and I'm just now filming, or finishing this. I'm just now finishing filming. So it probably won't go up Sunday today, but it will be up Monday on the 26th. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video and that you check back in on Sunday for a new video. Thanks for taking the time to get to know me, and I'll see you in the next one.